Welcome to Republic of Letters. I opened a bookstore for a couple different reasons. Basically, it's a midlife crisis. I wanted to do something new with my life, but I've always loved bookstores, and I thought, well, if the worst thing that happens to me is I get stuck in a bookstore all day, that's not that bad. I wanted Mineral Point to have a bookstore ever since our last one had closed down, and no one else was opening one, so I decided I had to. The space is sort of divided into three separate rooms. So as you come in, we have a seating area where we have new releases, we do rotating displays. On this wall is all of our fiction. We start with general fiction, and then as we go down, have some categories like science fiction and fantasy, mystery, romance, and graphic novels. Each section has a section heading that is 3D printed. I was looking at buying signs, and I figured out I could buy a 3D printer and make the signs myself for the same price. And this way I get to have a 3D printer. And that's worked great, particularly because I keep reorganizing the store, so I constantly have to print new signs. On this side of the store, we have nonfiction. So we have things like memoir and cookbooks and arts and crafts and travel, and we have a local section. So we have a lot of local writers, and in fact we have a local publisher, Little Creek Press, who's been a great partner for the bookstore. We carry their books, and if they have a new author, new book release, we'll host a party for them. This is our children's section, and this is the section that Leslie and I can take the least amount of credit for because we don't have kids, and a lot of these books were published since we were reading as children. So we reached out to the parents and kids that we knew and asked, what were the popular books, what were the best books, and they really helped. The community helped us curate this section. One really fun thing about the kids section is how decisive kids are when they come into a bookstore. Adults will come in, they'll usually make a lap around, get a lay of the land, pick up a book here and there, think about it, eventually choose something that they want. Kids come back, and within 2 seconds they're holding a book and they're demanding their parents buy it for them, and they won't give it up no matter what. I wish I had that level of clarity in my life. And then the very back, which is still under construction, is the book kitchen, which will be the cooking school here at Republic of Letters, planned to open at the end of the year. So the book kitchen will have classes, and there'll be classes on kitchen basics for kids, baking, cooking, meal prep. This will have cooking stations for all of the students, and it'll be a fully kitted out kitchen. A lot of the classes will revolve around cookbooks, and we'll also have cookbook authors come out and do demos from their cookbooks, and probably also guest chefs coming and doing pop-up events, and we'll sort of let the space evolve. But we love books and we love food, and Nicole Brzezinski is running the book kitchen. She approached us when she found out I was opening a bookstore and came for a tour and asked, well, you don't really need that whole space, do you? This will be the best bookstore kitchen in the country, I'll guarantee you that. We're not a huge store, we don't have a lot of books. And because we don't have other bookstores in town, I really wanted to try to meet as many needs as we could, which meant having a lot of different categories and not having that much space for each one. So we do a lot of curation. We're very careful about what books we carry. I try to only carry books that I either know to be good or I have had recommended to me passionately by somebody, or at least, I've researched enough to say, this is, for people who care about this, this is considered like a classic in the genre. We do also sell used books. So we have new and used books on the shelves, and the used books add a nice randomness to it. So those are coming primarily through donations or library sales, estate sales, things like that. So we have less control over what those books are. So it breaks up a little bit, being all just the books I think you should read. Because it's a small space, we try to be really intentional with everything we bring in. So we talk a lot about what our chairs are going to look like and spend months looking at chairs. Luckily, we didn't have to make that decision when it came to some of the display tables, because a local furniture maker and sculptor, Evan Lewis, offered us these two beautiful tables when we were opening the store. I love the detail on these metal legs that looks like bamboo, but it's just welded metal pipe. And this table here is architectural salvage. These are floor tiles and wood from a historic building that was being torn down in Chicago in the 80s. And it just feels so much more interesting than finding, a piece on IKEA. My secret is that I really opened a bookstore so that I could buy lots of toys. So I talked about the 3D printer. I also bought a laser cutter and engraver to make book stands. So I laser engraved the logo on there, and this is just a simple 2-piece book stand that then can come in apart and pack up. So if we go off-site and do events, they're easy to bring with us. And I was really excited to have an excuse to buy this robot. It's a vertical plotter, and it can move up and down on these 2 strings, and it can hold 4 different colors of markers. And you then use an app on your phone to input a drawing or text and have it draw on the window or on a wall or whatever surface you want. So I've used it to put up quotes from books or a new drawing every week, sometimes jokes or riddles. But it's been a great tool for getting people's curiosity piqued, and they come in to figure out what it is. We're located at 151 High Street, downtown Mineral Point, right across from the Red Rooster. And we are open Thursday to Sunday, noon to 6 p.m. You can also find us on social media, on Facebook and Instagram at Republic of Letters Books. And the Book Kitchen has their own social media, the Book Kitchen MP.